In the previous video segment, I have already uploaded a YouTube demo which is D-8, preparing for staff management web form practice. Now in this video segment, I have tied a description to it. Within this description, you will notice that there is actually two links. The first link allows you to go and download the zip file. This zip file, if you unzip it, it is actually the web project that I have worked on during the demo session. Okay, and what is the name of the web project? It is again Experiment Data Management. Okay, so you can download it. After you have downloaded it, ensure that you have actually modified the connection string inside the web.config here. Notice that I have opened up the web.config, and you will notice that I have a connection string. This connection string works fine on my computer, definitely not on your computer. You have to go and change it to your own connection string. Okay, if you don't understand what is connection string, then this playlist and this video is not ready for you at all. Go through my other previous playlist. Thank you very much. Now you will notice also that inside this video segment D-8, preparing for staff management web form practice, you'll notice that there's another link that allows you to go and open up. Now when you open up this link, it is actually a Google document that shows some important summary that is helpful during the practice demo session that you can also open and you can also download. Now you notice that this supporting document is showing that we need to go and come up with a web form, and this web form will have a grid view, and this grid view is actually going to oops, there's a Google Doc error. Let me actually allow it to reload. Okay, now so this document actually shows you that oops, not again. Now this document actually shows you that there is a web form that we need to go and develop, and this web form is having a very important control called GridView control, and I have already named this GridView control as grid data. So this is something that we need to go and work on this web form. And notice that this web form also have a has a div server control, and the name that I've given is div message. This web form will also have a button control, and the name that I've given to this button is called btn delete. So we are going to work on this web form, but for this series of video segments, although we come up with the chat box column, but I think I will reserve this one for a separate playlist to concentrate on the delete functionality. For the current playlist, we would like to go and concentrate on the middle column, how to show the full name, and also how to go and deal with the update button that will allow us to get this web form to work well with the update form. So what do I mean by that? After you have already modified your web.config file, by right you should be able to go and right click on the ADM staff management.aspx. Remember to modify your web.config file first, okay? Now so you have to go and right click and you go and view in browser. You should be able to go and see the grid view displaying staff information, and if you test out the grid view, if you click update, you will notice that it will be able to direct the browser to another web form. What is that web form? ADM update staff.aspx. At the same time, this browser is asking this web form to show the record, which is uniquely represented by the record ID of 12. How come 12? Let me take a look. Because inside the staff table, you will notice that I have already prepared 6 records, and the first record is uniquely represented by 11, and the second one is 12. 12 is Simpson. So let us take a look at the browser here. Is it Simpson? Yeah. Okay. So of course we need to go and focus on dealing with the full name and dealing with the update. Okay. Right. So let us begin now. Now you see how to begin. I have already got the web form here that is fully done up. So I would like to go and delete this web form first. Make sure you already back up your web project before you continue the demo. Okay, back up now. So I'm actually going to delete the ADM staff management, and then let us take a look at the C staff manager. you notice that the C Staff Manager has a very important method called get all staff data. This get all staff data method supports the web form that I have deleted just now, so I would like to kill this one too. Now notice that this C Staff Manager also contains the delete one staff. This one is actually to support the delete functionality, so I'm going to delete it too. So I have already deleted two important methods inside the C Staff Manager class, and I've already deleted one web form that I wish to add in right now. So let us begin practice. I right click on the staff management folder, I add a new item. In this new item, I'm going to name it as ADM Staff Management. ADM Staff Management. Okay, so I have already added the web form. Now after I've already added the web form, recall that I need to go and come up with a div server control. So let me actually just join this one up a bit, right? So this is the div, but this is not a div server control yet. This is just a normal div HTML tag. So I'm going to create a div server control and ensure that the run at equals to server is in place. So I've already defined the div server control. At the same time, I would like to go and define the grid view. So in other words, what is a grid view? ASP:grid view ID equals to GRD data. Okay, and then make sure that I have the run at equals to server there, and that's it, right? So I have a grid view nicely placed here. Now let me actually just finish off the creation of the button, although we are not emphasizing this button for the time being, but well, since we are here, why not we define the control, right? So this one is actually going to be the button. Now let us actually investigate the web form at the design time. So notice my mouse is pointing at the design mode, and I'm going to click on it. You'll notice that I have already defined a div server control, div message, a grid view, which is the GRD data, and I've also defined the button, right, the btn delete. So I've already defined the necessary controls inside the presentation file of the web form. Now of course, when we develop any functionalities, recall that what is the purpose? I would like to come up with a web form that has a grid view, and this grid view is capable of showing staff information. So first thing first, this is the first step that I will always do forever, right? Let me actually just start the new query. Ensure that you are focusing on the staff on the web_a_database. Now this is actually the SQL that I'm going to experiment. Select asterisk from staff, and I actually experiment an SQL command which will, let me actually test it out right now, execute, and you'll notice that it will successfully retrieve all the staff information. Now all these staff information are retrieved. Why? Because I'm actually selecting everything from the staff table. Now what if I want to go and get the department table to work together with the staff table? If I do this, if I execute, you will notice that, wait, how come this Daniel is actually being seen attached to sales and marketing, and I see Daniel again here attached to finance? Oh my goodness, this Daniel is Superman. No, oh wait, Simpson is actually attached to sales and marketing, and Simpson is also, let me take a look, oh, Simpson is also attached to finance. These two tables are not really working together because they are not having the where clause, whereby I can put staff dot department record ID equals to the department table dot department record ID. So let me actually but of course this asterisk is actually showing all columns, which is quite confusing. So let me actually just limit down to staff record ID, full name, email, and let us actually try by DOB, and anything else, mobile, contact, and what about the department name, right? Would this be nice? So let me actually just execute it again, right, you'll notice that how come the department name is showing what numbers? Oh, you notice that the mobile contact is actually not separated from the department name as a comma. So in other words, my SQL is really a big mistake. The database thought that I want to show the mobile contact and I'm using the department name as an alias, okay, which is wrong. So let me actually just put a comma in here, right, and let me actually just take a look. You'll notice that right now is the SQL result much more trustworthy. Daniel is indeed attached to sales and marketing. How do I know that? If you take a look at the staff table, Daniel is indeed tied to the department record ID 1. What is 1? 1 is, let us take a look at the department table, right? The department table, 1 is actually sales and marketing, okay? Now, let's just say that I purposely modify, right, the staff table, this one to be 3, right? Okay, the department record ID to be 3. What will happen? Means that Daniel is attached to research, right? So let's take a look at the SQL again, right? Let us take a look at the SQL again. If I execute, you notice that Daniel is attached to research. So this SQL is actually quite trustworthy, right? So I would like to go and use this SQL inside my C#. How would I like to do it? I can actually start declaring a string SQL text here, and then I would carefully want to go and do this SQL text plus equal, okay. So notice that I'm actually slowly converting it into a string, and then I'm also preparing the C# code syntax whereby I'm assigning this SQL command as a string into the SQL text variable, okay. So notice that I'm actually doing this one carefully. And also notice one thing, right? Notice that I tried to go and space out, right? I tried to go and space out the information to avoid some invalid commands such as this. This is very bad, okay? Department where is joined together, so I space out. So I've already prepared the SQL command that I've tested as a string. Right now it is actually a string from the C# point of view. So I would like to go and use this one inside my C staff manager, okay, right? Now basically, what kind of public method do I need to have? I need to have a public method that will return me a data table of results. Why data table? Why data table of results? Why it must be a data table of results? Come on, right? Take a look at this one. You need a data table of results so that the GridView can show rows of staff information, okay? And also, come on, take a look at this one. This SQL that I've already experimented. Where is the outcome of this SQL? The result is actually a data table of results, right? A data table is actually what you see here, right? This is a data table. So of course that's why this one is supposed to be a data table, right? It will return a data table. And what is the name? Get all staff data. So that is actually the name of the method. And let me actually just quickly close it and make sure that I put here end of get all staff data. So this is actually the public method. Now let's take a look. So what kind of code do I need to go and put here? You see here, if you have actually practiced another playlist, let me actually show you, right? One of the playlists that I have uploaded. If you have practiced another playlist called apply data driven drop down list, no, not this one, drop down list data binding concept beginner, this one, okay, right? Let me click on it. In the first this playlist, what does it do? Let me actually just click on the first video segment. Let me click on the first video segment and let me pause the play. Now in the first video segment of this playlist, you'll notice that I also have the Word document and I also have the web project involved in this playlist. Now let's take a look at the Word document. What does this playlist focus? This playlist actually focuses on the development of the drop-down list. On the drop-down list that obtain the department information from the database table and show it as a list item at the browser end. So this is what the playlist is focusing at. So I have discussed extensively on all the code involved during the development of this data binding concept. Okay, how to bind a control such as a drop-down list to a database. So what is the web project which is involved inside this playlist? You can also download it, or you should have gone through it, you should have experimented it, you should have done it yourself. Okay, right? So you can actually if you want, you download it, then you make sure you change your connection string, but you should have prepared it yourself. Okay, now so this is actually the web project that was involved inside that playlist, right? You notice that this web project, let me right click on the web form, frm drop down list underscore department. What does it show? It will show a nice web form that experiments the drop down list. Okay, right? But I'm not interested in showing you this. I'm interested to tell you that these are the code that was involved. Right, this is actually the get all department data method inside what class? C department manager class. You better recap. If you can't remember, you go through it again. Okay, in the other playlist. These are the code involved in order to go and prepare, right, a data table of department so that the drop down list can use it. Now let's take a look at my current focus. I want to prepare a data table of staff information. This is actually trying to focus on preparing a data table of department information. They are all the same. They are really all the same. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to copy all these code inside the get all department data, and I'm actually going to put it inside here, right? Then of course the variables I would like to go and change. That is definitely not John. This is supposed to be connection, and command, this one is supposed to be command, and the data set, of course, notebook, is supposed to be DS. So John, what is John? John is connection, right? John is connection. So let me actually just replace John with connection. So these are the code that was involved in the get all department method. Right now I'm actually just reusing it inside my get all staff data method. Okay, right? So Susan is AD, and this one is supposed to be AD, and this one is supposed to be the CMD, and this one is connection. Okay, and this one is, let's say that this one is what, AD again, and this one is supposed to be the connection, right? And this one is supposed to be DS, and this one definitely is not going to be department data. This is supposed to be staff data, and this one is supposed to be staff data. Okay. Oh, AD select command, this one should be this one is supposed to be CMD. Okay, now so either you get it from the other project, experiment drop down list underscore data binding concept. You can also get it from the current C department manager class file, which is existing inside this experiment data management project. Why is there such a class file? Because we also use this class file to support the drop down list. Oops, there's a building error. Let me take a look. Oh, this one is DS. Okay, right. Oh, so let me save. Right, let me rebuild. Now this class, this web form ADM staff, if you view in browser, right, if you view in browser, you will notice that this is actually the add staff web form, and I also have the drop down list. Notice it's showing what? Sales and marketing, finance, research, GCland, XYZ. Is it the same? Right, let me take a look. Yeah, it's the same. Let me double check. ABC, what will happen? Right, here will be, if I refresh, here should be ABC. So you see, I also got the exact same class inside the existing experiment data management, right? So you can also copy it from here. Right here, if you copy it, you don't need to go and change much. Okay, right? If here, then you have to go and change like John, Maxwell, all those variables. So let me come back to here. Get all staff data. Have I managed to go and change everything? Now let's take a look at this one. This one is the connection string. This one is the connection string, and this is definitely not your connection string, right? Let me take a look at the recall that I am actually using a different technique in playing with connection string. Now I actually obtain the connection string information from the web config. Okay, so I will just copy this from the, and then I'm just going to replace this one. Okay, so right now, did I actually really code anything? Well, I've explained what is connection before, this one before. So the only thing that I need to go and focus on is the SQL is definitely not this. Agree or not? What is the SQL? The SQL is supposed to be something like this, right? This is the one that I've experimented just now. So I'm just going to copy this, and I'm actually going to come back here and I'm going to replace it. Okay, right, then after that, of course, SQL text is not useful until I actually supply it into the command text property. That's it. I have already prepared a get all staff data. Observe the code. Make a comparison between the get all staff data and the C department manager code. They are the get all department data. They are all the same. The only difference is the SQL. The only difference is the SQL. The SQL is actually going to decide everything, not the code. Am I clear? Okay. Have I tested this SQL? Yes, I've already tested it, right? Okay, now, so right now, after preparing the get all staff data, what am I going to do next? What am I going to do next? Next thing is that I need to go and do something inside the page load event method here, right? Now, standard operating procedure, remember this, right? If what? Page dot is post back equals to files. Okay, right? So this is important. Then after that, here I'm actually going to remember that. Remember to apply the using what? Using system dot data, and another one is using experiment blah 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 dot add code. Okay, right, now come back to here. So what am I going to deal with this part here? I'm going to declare a variable which is the data table dt staff, okay, equals to new data table. It's empty data table of results, okay, but it's going to hold something soon. I need to go and declare the object. Where is the object? C staff manager equals to new C staff manager. Okay, so I've already declared this one. Anything else do I need to go and prepare? Not at this point of time. So right now I'm going to tell the staff manager, say, hey, staff manager, right, the staff manager object, please get all staff data. So it will try to go and grab all the information from the database, and it will return you a data table of results, as what I'm trying to show here. This is a data table of results. Where are these results going to be stored? They are going to be stored inside the DT staff. Okay, DT staff. That's it, right? Then, but of course, this is not useful until I tell the GridView, the GRD data to refer, right? Data source refer to the DT staff. So in other words, I'm actually telling the telling the GRD data control, right, to refer to the data table of staff records, right? Is it data table of staff records? Yeah, a data table of staff records. So I'm actually telling the GridView. Where is the GridView? Recap. Where is the GridView? Right, the GridView is the one that we have defined here, right? This one. This is the GridView. Okay, right, this is the GridView. Okay, so I'm going to save, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to rebuild. So let us take a look slowly what will happen. I'm going to right click and view in browser. Okay, so let us check. Oh my god, anything? There's nothing inside the GridView. Oh, what has happened? Right, it's totally empty. Why is it totally empty? Let us take a look. Right, inside the experiment data management, inside the C staff manager, right? Okay, let us actually have a closer look. This is the AD, everything is fine. This is the connection string, everything is fine, right? And let us take a look here. This is the staff manager, and page.isPostBack equals to files. Then this get our staff, and I only tell the GridView to go and refer to it, but I did not tell the GridView to go and start using, right? Start using. That's why good opportunity to understand what is the purpose of data binding. Is it data binding? No, it's called what? Data bind. Okay, so what does this mean? Tell the GRD data control, the GridView control, right? The GridView control, right? To start using, don't just look, right? Start using the data table of staff records or staff data, right? So that is the meaning. So let me actually just right click and rebuild, and let us actually have a look. If I refresh, notice that I'm able to go and get the GridView to right now show rows of staff information, right? Now, so you notice that the GridView actually shows how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How come the GridView is showing 6 columns? Because the data table contains 6 columns, right? Now let me actually just purposely do something like this. Let me actually just go and revert back this one to the original SQL command, right? Okay, so this one, let's just say that I put full name. Then after this one, I just put mobile contact. Okay, then after that, let me just put this one as DOB. So how many fields have I defined here? Let me actually execute. Let me actually just execute this one, right? Altogether there are 3 fields, 3 columns, right? So if this is the SQL that is used inside the C staff manager class under the get all staff data, right? Where is the SQL here? So this is the original SQL, and let me comment it out. Let me reapply the SQL that I have tested just now. SQL text plus equal, what is it? Select what? Select full name, comma, mobile contact, comma, DOB from where? From staff, comma, department, where what? Where the staff. Why am I copying this one when I got the code here? Okay, so this one I'll just copy here, and then I will just paste it here. And what is the other one? Paste wrongly. Let me cut. I should actually paste it here. And where is this one? Okay, yes, okay, right? So this is just another SQL for me to go and test. Alright, okay. Now this SQL, if I test it inside, let me double check the SQL again. Let me just copy the SQL. Let me go back to the query analyzer. Let me paste here again. Is it working? If I execute, oops, incorrect syntax near staff. Why? From staff where? Oh, there are 2 staff, right? Notice that I always test my SQL. Right here, are there 2 staff? Yes, there are 2 staff. Okay, right? So let me actually just save here. Let me just go and reapply this SQL to check. Right? Is it showing 3 fields? Yes. Okay. So in other words, if I right click view rebuild, right, with this SQL, what is expected to be seen on the web browser right now? Notice that it will show 3. Right? So I hope I have already proved my point. That is, whatever the GridView is showing is very dependent on the data table that it is referring to. Right? It's everything, it is all controlled by our SQL. Right? All these code, if you compare with the past code that you have practiced, they are all the same. They are all the same. Okay, now continue from here. So I hope I've already proved this one right, and let me actually just now have a look one more thing. If you take a look at this GridView, right, I don't want it to automatically generate the columns. I'm actually just going to tell it to what? Set it to false. Means that I'm telling the GridView that don't auto-generate columns. Just now it was auto-generating columns. So right now I just want to go and display full name only. I just want to go and display full name only. But before I can actually define a column, I must make sure that I have included columns here first. Then I'm actually going to prepare a bound field, and this one is going to be a data field, and this one I'm going to call it full name, right? And of course the header text, I'm actually going to call it ZZZ. Do you know what time is it right now? It is, oh my goodness, I am dead tired. Okay, now, so in other words, right now I have already defined a bound field, and let us actually take a look. What will happen? Am I able to go and show one column only? Am I going to show one column only? Let us take a look, right? You see one column. Notice that the header text is ZZZ. Okay, right. So in other words, have I actually successfully learned that? Oh, so this is how I use the bound field tag to go and define one column, and you must make sure that it must be wrapped by this starting columns and the ending columns tag. So this is what I have learned. Okay, right. Now of course, let us actually make this header text much more meaningful, right? So what about another thing? What about the button? What about the button? Yeah, the button. How am I supposed to go and define the button? ESP colon button, right? Button field. Then let us take a look at the button type. Button type, I'll just put button, right? Then of course the button should have a text, so I just put text equals to what? Update. Okay, right. Anything else? Let me see. Why not I provide it a command name? What is the command name for? Heck, I don't know, but it's there, so I'll just put it update stuff. Okay, let's just put it update stuff. Okay, so right now I've already created a button field, and this button field, button type is button, the text is update, and the command name is update stuff. Okay, so let me save this one. Let me right click, let me view in browser, and let us double check what is the consequences this time. Oh yes, I have the button, but is this button really useful to us right now? If I click, notice that nothing happens, right? Anything happening? Nope. The button is not really helping us at all. Okay, right? It is totally useless. Okay, now, so in other words, why is it useless? You see, what is supposed to, what is the purpose of the button, right? When you click it, you must direct the browser to another web form, right, that will show the correct staff record. Now, does this GridView know the record ID, right? Let me actually just revert back to the original one, right? Does this GridView actually knows the record ID? Okay, department dot what is record ID? You know, something like this: staff record ID, comma, full name, comma, DOB, comma, department name, for example. Okay, right, I just put this one here first. Okay, now if I execute this one, this is the record ID, this is the record ID, right? So does the GridView know about the record ID? It does not know, right? In other words, that I need to go and tell the GridView that, hey GridView, while showing all these rows of information, you better know that Daniel is 11, Simpson is 12, Susan is 13, based on what you see here: 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so in other words, that I must tell the GridView that you must know Robert is what? Robert is 16, right? So how am I supposed to go and tell the GridView that? You need to learn how to go and use a very important property called data key names. Okay, and this one I'm just going to call it as staff record ID. That's it. That's it, right? That is one thing. Now, is that all? Is that all? Will this help the button? No, this will not help the button. You see, click, no action at all. There's nothing. There's nothing. Why? Because right now I need to go and prepare one important property. Now, without this property, we are dead. We are already dead. It's called on row command. Okay, and this on row command, I'm going to call it manage staff. Okay, now what does this mean? It means that I'm telling this GridView something. I'm telling this GridView that, hey, afterwards, if the user click any of this button here in any of this row, right, you better execute all the code which are grouped under the name called manage staff. Let me repeat. Right, when I put on row command equals to manage staff, what it means is that I'm telling this grid view something like this. You better know that when I click on, for example, the update button for Simpson row, you better call, right, or execute or run all the code that are grouped under the name called what? Manage staff, right? Okay, manage staff. Where do I put all these code? What is the name? Manage staff, right? So, okay, I have the page load. Remember to have a good habit, right? This one is the end of page underscore load. Okay, now let me go through. This one is the page load right now. So what did I say just now? Manage staff, right? Okay, this one I'll just put protected void, and then after that I'm going to put manage staff. Okay, right, then of course it is an event method. Event method has something to do like object, sender, event args, blah 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 blah. Okay, I'm going to guess my way out here. So this one I'll just put object. No, is it object? Oh yeah, object. Then after that, I'm going to put sender, comma. Is it correct? Yeah. Okay, yes. Then after that, I'm going to put grid view row event. Is it? No, grid view command event args. Is it grid view command event args? Yes, I think so. Right, I think so. Let us test. I'm also not sure. I hope I am correct, because I am also not sure. Grid view command event args. How am I supposed to be sure? Oh yeah. Remember the E part. Okay, like that. Now, for first time coder, if this for the first time you play with this one, right? Yes, of course we don't know. So how are we supposed to go and verify? Div message dot inner HTML equals to what? Running. Okay, right. This is the best thing, right? Okay, running. So let me actually double check. Right click, rebuild. Pray. Right, you see how am I going to pray? Let me actually just continue, and let me actually just try to go and deal with it. Okay, let me refresh. Okay, so after I refresh, right now I'm going to click. Running. Good. Back again. Let me try Maggie. Running again. Good. Let us try Robert. Running again. Okay, good. Wow. Right. In other words, is this now? Just now the experimentation, I have already proven that what? I have already successfully tested that. I've already tested what? What have I tested? I've already tested that manage staff is successfully reacting to what? Reacting to the update button click action, right? Clear or not? Right? How did this occur? Because I actually told the grid view, say, hey, grid view, remember, if let's say that the user click on any of these button, right, make sure that you run all the code which are grouped under manage staff, and that is what I have managed to do inside the code behind file, right? Okay, right, inside this code behind file. Okay, now so what about this E thing, right? This what does this for? And what class is this? Come on, I also do not know. If you want to know, I tell you one thing: practice your English. Do you know what? I had my English being whacked left, right, center by this one. Okay, Google. Right, then after that, I will actually just what? Just google.com, and then I just copy and paste this thing inside here. Then I just say what is this? Right, then I just enter. Right, then it will say that, oh, what is this? I tell you, the English here very okay, but it took me quite some time in order to go and try understand, experiment. So right now I'm just showing you how I experimented after reading all this information from the internet, right? I'm going to test. How am I going to test? You see, I captured something regarding the internet, some commands. So I just want to go and test. E dot, for example, E dot command argument, right? E dot command argument. Let's see. Then after it complain. Why? What is complaint? Unable to convert type object to string. If you can't convert, I do a to string for you lah. You see, notice that I actually prepared a toString there. Okay, then no complaints. No complaints means what? Good. As long as it works, let's just do it. Okay, so what am I practicing a new command here, right? What e.com, we want to learn what the heck is this, right? Correct or not? What the heck is this, right? So let us actually take a look. What the heck is it? So I click, hey, it says 2. How come this one is 2? Okay, let me click Daniel, right? It says 0. Let me click on Robert. It should say 5. Yes. So in other words, the e.command argument is actually returning me the row number that the button is clicked. Because this is row 0, this is row 1, this is row 2, this is row 3, this is row 4, this is row 5. So if I click row 4, right, notice that here shows 4. In other words, I have successfully used this very simple statement to gain my understanding. What does e.command argument for? What is it for? Right, e.command argument returns the row number of the clicked button. Agree or not? Right? Agree or not? Of course, remember the starting row number is 0, right? The starting row number is 0, right? So this is the experimentation. I have done it. Alright, baby, done. So right now, more confidence. Right now, I need to go and do something else. What is that? I got the row, but it does not help me. Do you know why or not? I want the record ID. For heaven's sake. For example, if you take a look, this one, ADN update staff, right? ADN update staff. What will happen if I put ADN update staff record ID 12? It will show Simpson. If I put 11, it will show what? It will show Daniel. I want the record ID. I don't want the row number. Row number is not accurate. I want the record ID. How am I supposed to get the record ID? Recall that I mentioned what is the purpose of data key name staff record ID. I have already told the grid view stating that, right, that let me go back to the grid view, stating that, hey, grid view, right, this row the record ID is 12. This row the record ID is, let me see, 16. Okay, 16. Okay, right. So that is the purpose of the data key names staff record ID, right? Okay, I'm asking it to go and refer to the staff record ID field. Now, so based on this understanding, how am I supposed to proceed my experimentation? How to get the staff record ID, right? My next test is that how to get the staff record ID, right? So how am I supposed to go and test it? Div message dot inner HTML equals to what? grd data dot data keys. Then I'm going to put what does square bracket mean? Square bracket means find. What to find? Let me see. E dot command argument, right? Right. E dot command argument. So will this help? Will this help? Complain again. Oh my goodness. Why is it complaining? It says that I need integer. Okay, you want integer, I give you integer. So what? Convert dot to int 16. Happy, right? Then after that, let me see what will happen. Okay, then after that, it's complaining again because it says that the results needs to be in string. Oh my goodness, this C# is so strict. So dot value, maybe like dot to string. Okay, right, to string. Let us take a look what will happen. So if I save, if I right click, if I rebuild, let's take a look what happened. Dun, 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 dun. Where are you? Here, if I refresh, no. Let me just close this Internet Explorer and let me just right click and view in browser. Okay, right, and let me experiment what happened. Right, if I click Robert, it should give me what? 16, right? That is my anticipation. If I click on Daniel, right, this code should give me, in other words, that if I click on this one is the update button that belongs to Daniel, right? When I click it, what will happen? Right, this one will become what? 0. Agree or not? This one will become 0, right? Because Daniel is 0 row, right? Correct or not? Right? So 0 row means that I'm asking the grid view to grab the staff record ID that belongs to row 0. Okay, so this is the purpose of this code. So let us experiment and let us actually take a look. Is this true or not? If I click on Daniel, it should give me 12. Come on. 11. Why 11? Oh yes, it's 11. Sorry, I'm very sorry. It's 11. Now let me click on this one. It should be click 16. Is it 16? Yes, it is 16. So have I successfully obtained the staff record ID? Yes. So right now, after this experimentation, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put string. I'm going to put which row number, and this one is actually going to store the e.command argument string. Okay, right? The code just now here is just for experimentation and understanding purposes. What about this one? So this one, it should be string one. String, for example, staff record ID, right? Correct or not? Staff record ID equals to what? Correct or not? Now then after that, what am I going to do with this one? So e command argument should be replaced by which row number, right? And let me remember to semicolon out, and let me right click and let me rebuild. Okay, now right now another thing is that I need to go and do this one. Response is a good object that will tell the browser to redirect to where? Redirect to ADM update staff.aspx question mark staff record ID equals to 14. Let us just put 14 first, just for some testing. Okay, so of course yours should not be 14. Yours one could be 5, could be 4. You must know what your records are. Okay, right? Not looking at mine. So right now I'm just going to rebuild, and I'm going to test. Right, I'm going to fully test it. Refresh, and I'm going to click update Daniel. Let's see what will happen. How come it is Raja? Oh my god. Let me click on Simpson. How come it's Raja again? If I click on Susan, how come it's Raja? Because Raja is 14. And because I actually hard-coded what? I hard-code the 14 inside. Of course, it will forever Raja lah. Right, so this one should be replaced by what? This one I kill it. I go and plus. This one should be replaced by what? Staff record ID. Okay, staff record ID. So let me actually just right click, let me actually just rebuild, let me actually just double check, right? So is this successfully doing it? If I click update, how come no action one? Yeah, Maggie, alright baby. Daniel, correct. Robert, oh yes, Robert is also correct, right? So you notice that have I actually managed to go and define a grid view that will show the full name and will show a series of update buttons? Yes, right? And also recap what I've done. I actually derive all these code through experimentation with the help of diff message. First, I must find out which row did the user click, and by the time I know it, I know that the first row is row 0, the second row is row 1. But that is not enough. Which row is not enough? I need to go and find out what is the record ID for that row, and that is the job of the data keys that belongs to the grid data. Right, because I already told the grid data to, using this one, to refer to the staff record ID to remember what record ID is for which row. So it will know that, the grid view will know that this one is row 1, this row 0 is record ID 11, row 1 is record ID 12, row 2 is record ID 13, etc, etc, etc. Okay, right? So I have already managed to go and finish demonstrating on, right, the development process of the grid view and the update button to work closely with the update web form. And also bear in mind, if I want to go and show more columns, what should I do? Right, I will just copy and I will just paste. If I want to go and show, let's say, date of birth, right, date of birth is nice, so this one I'll just put date of birth, right? This is just header text, but this one I need to go and put DOB. Okay, right? Then after that I'm going to rebuild. Do you know what happened? Let me take a look. Refresh, right? Notice that I'm showing the date of birth, right? So this is how I manage my column definition inside the grid view control. Okay, and I hope you have learned something let us recap what have I done. I have first of all I tested the SQL, then I focused on the get all staff data method, and all these code, let me re-emphasize, all these code I copied it from the get all department data method. Okay, after copying, then the only changes that I should do is the SQL and probably the data table name, right? Other than that, are the rest of the code the same? Yes, they are all the same. That's why I say SQL is the most important, more important than C#. Okay, now then after working on the get all staff data, I focused on the code behind file. Under the page underscore load, I slowly worked on the data binding part, and notice that I purposely left out this one just now. So even if the grid view knows that, or I need to refer to the data table DT stuff, it won't be able to display anything unless I tell it to start using. So data bind means start using. Okay, then after that I tried to go and talk about manage stuff and linking manage stuff with the grid view control by using the on row command manage stuff. Okay, now what is the purpose of the command name? Did I mention the command name? Now I just want to go and tell you that you can have more than one rows, more than one columns of button field, and this one could be delete stuff. Agree or not? This one should be delete stuff, for example, right? And this one maybe it is delete, right? Let me just give you an example. Okay, so this one is the delete. So what happens now? Now you notice that I will have two columns of button, correct or not? So one is update, one is delete. But surely, do you know what is happening right now? I tell you what is happening. If I click delete, it will also go to the update form. If I click on update, it will also go to the update form. Cannot lah. How does not make sense, right? That's why I need to go and do something here. Something like for example if what? If e dot command name equals to, means that compare against the update stuff, right? The command name, right? Only if the signal is equals to this one, then I will execute this code that will tell the browser to go to the update form and show the correct record, so that it won't be messy, right? So that nothing is done for the other button delete. So right now if I refresh, right, what will happen? If I click update for Daniel, notice that it will show Daniel. But if I click on delete, nothing should happen. Notice that nothing should happen because I've already set a condition. Make sure that the command name is update stuff, and that update stuff information was specified inside the command name property that belongs to the button field. Okay, right? So this is, there are a lot of things. You need to experiment, right? Try to go and replay anything that you felt that the explanation was too fast. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Next segment is the delete segment. Okay, next segment is the delete segment.